And we welcome you courtside here in Long Beach, California, Nick England and Ira Thor. And we'll be joined alongside Noah Chess and a new friend as we bring you our second 4 matches here today on May 6th. And a good one here today as the OC Stunners were challenged yesterday against a Chicago untouchable squad that's on the rise. Southern Exposure is their opponent today. They playing their first match of the weekend. Southern Exposure is one of those teams that had to be rebuilt this year like Chicago. Your thoughts on this match and how Southern Exposure is going to be able to compete with a Stunner squad that yesterday finally got a challenge from a newcomer?
Yeah, I think this is one that we look at, the Stunners squad a little understaffed. They don't quite, Caldwell's not here, so they're looking at their bench of Josh Nels, newly added Tanner Woods, Eddie Mushikian, supplementing out there and adding to Matt Hilling. But I think that yesterday we saw this team a little bit in disarray. Damani Lenore struggled a little bit to kind of find his rhythm. And obviously a lot of talent. They still came out and won when they needed to. But I think that this is a great situation for them to be able to kind of build that resiliency, find out how they're going to kind of make it all work, because Exposure is another one of those kind of scrappy teams. And I think this is going to be similar to that matchup where Matadors played Ramblers, where you don't go in thinking this is going to be that high-level match. But I think that there's a lot of pieces to the way that Exposure plays the game that could really give some trouble to the Stunners if they're not really dialed in. And then aggravated Stunners is very frequently a bad Stunners. That's kind of where they spiral a bit out of control. Yeah,
well, either spiral out of control or that is where they get angry and all of a sudden they start jamming balls down your throat.
Yep.
I call Chicago a new team because they really are. Yeah, this is their third. They're one of the longest, third year in the league, one of the longest standing teams in the league, but brand new built lineup.
Yeah.
And basically it's the same thing with Southern Exposure. Yeah, they have Tyler Hubbard-Neal back, who has been one of their stars for years. But outside of him,
John Andrews.
John Andrews obviously coming off the bench, but
hasn't seen him much play time.
One of their most consistent players over the last couple of years is Eddie Mushikian, who is starting today, getting the starting spot on the outside for the OC Stunners. And for Eddie, who's getting the nod today, he's going to want to make a statement against his former club.
Yeah, and when we talk about how the team was almost gutted by the rest of the league, you saw Uchenna Ofoha go to Wild. Tim Lurich went to Ramblers. You saw Eddie Mushikian go to Stunners. You're seeing Derek Sullivan going to Team Freedom. It just, this team kind of just up and scattered to the wind a bit. And so many names that we have talked about for so long as part of the squad.
Yeah.
Langston Payne with Freedom, or with Founders. It's like one guy went to every other team, and now they had to kind of start back over. They
scattered around the country. Yep. And Sullivan hasn't even made his debut for New Jersey. Speaking of debuts,
yes,
we're going to send this over to Noah Chast, and he's going to introduce us to a new friend joining us here in NVA USA.
Thank you so much, Ira. Everyone, say hello to Haley Henderson. Haley is a senior communications student at San Diego State. Haley, give the people a little bit about your volleyball background.
Yeah, I've been playing volleyball since I was about 10. Played club all growing up, played all 4 years varsity volleyball. Ended up playing at San Diego Mesa College for 2 years before I transferred to San Diego State. And then I played on the San Diego State club team this past season. So I'm San Diego native, obviously, but yeah, just a really fun time down there.
And Haley will be joining us here on the sidelines for future events, becoming a part of this broadcast team, doing some reports and really being engaged and involved in this league on the broadcast side of things. Haley, tell me what excites you about joining this part of the side of the league?
Well, you guys are obviously very passionate about this league. It's really inspiring, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. And also just that we're going to have a professional league in the States. I feel like I always hear overseas leagues. I haven't really had like a local one here, even just in California. So really excited that it's going to be here in the States.
All right, Haley, I'm going to let you take over, hand you the mic, and you can send it back. And Ira, here you go. Send it back.
All right. Back to you guys.
A star is born.
She's already a professional. Noah just had to rub his magic off on the mic, hands it over, and a star is born. So we are glad to welcome Haley to the broadcast. She will have some features throughout the day, and also some of our interviews, including our man of the match.
Yeah, and one of the things that, just to take a step away from this match, and we'll get back into it with Stunners and Exposure, but when we look at the progression of the league, a big part of what we're doing, obviously 12 teams represented throughout the country, the non-continental U.S., bringing in Puerto Rico, having them represented. Part of this is scaling it and learning, what it takes to build that broadcast out, build the personalities out, have teams that are going to be amazing representations of what it should be to be a pro league. Everyone wants to be that pro athlete, but as you progress and the league grows, so too must the athletes. Must you be more demanding of what's going on there. And so, getting people like Haley involved and so many people that happen to work behind the scenes that are kind of working that thankless job. Our referee crew headed by Mike Mon, their dedication and devotion to what we're doing, as well as just the entire NVA staff, the other directors that do so much. Cynthia Buggs, Director of Operations, that just makes this event happen day in and day out. We see, Kenzie Shand, who is our just rock as our statistician, just grinds 12 matches every weekend, 14-hour days. By herself. And, we just have so many people that are kind of doing that thankless stuff. And so when we're building that infrastructure out, it's looking for people that are willing to invest their time and understanding that there is a vision that you, the viewers, the fans at home, all over the country, all over the world, understand that we are committed to building this league 6 seasons strong. And I can confidently say that where we're at now already, you always hear this little phrase, it's like wait until event 3, because that's when all the international guys get back. I can safely and proudly say that for the first season ever, if we didn't have to wait until event 3 and we just played with what we have here, we've got a heck of a product. And I'm really proud of everyone top to bottom, what we've achieved, what we've completed. So just to take a step back and reflect on where we're at.
I'm glad you said that because, again, the fans at home, see you, they see me, they see Matt, they see Noah, they see us as the faces of the league on this side of the camera, in addition, of course, to the players and coaches. But for those behind the scenes who are not getting the limelight, right, it is important to note them. Kenzie Shand, she is a machine.
Absolutely.
We couldn't do this without her. She's the woman behind the numbers that help us tick. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here with making chalk fingers.
Yeah.
Chalk figures and trying to figure out how many kills that that Tyler Hubbard-Neal ends up with today. I'm going to guess probably about 15.
Well, also to build that into the shameless plug, we just rebuilt the NVA USA website. The experience to be, designed to be more streamlined. We look at what mainstream leagues are doing, and we try to model our product after that. So if you haven't checked out NVAUSA.com, you absolutely should. Every team has a customized website, their full roster kept up to date. Then also we have full statistics that's uploaded from individuals for the teams. You can see exactly what teams are trending up, trending down, and you can get in contact with the league. So I strongly suggest go check that out, get involved, find out what's going on next. Also Instagram, tons of fun updates, TikTok as well. So lots of ways for fans to be involved, and I hope that you do.
Don't forget the NVA USA shop where you can get your own gear to represent your favorite club or even represent some of your favorite players. We'll tell you about these as the match goes on. These are from Nick West, starting middle hitter for the OC Stunners. We'll do that later in the match because we want to give some plug to our players and their businesses, what they do on the side. And I discovered this weekend Nick West has his own line of custom skateboards. This one, of course, doesn't have wheels, but we will give him some love later this match. And we are actually set to begin. The players have taken the court. We'll take a look at today's starting lineups. The OC Stunners, they come in at 2-1 on the year. And Southern Exposure playing for the first time this weekend. For Southern Exposure, Tyler Hubbard-Neal, number 1 on the outside. Other outside is going to be number 14, Zach Meyer. Right side is Logan Riding, number 8. Middle hitters today, Sam Jackman, number 7. He'll be joined in the middle by Kean Slade, making his debut today for Southern Exposure, number 16. Setting is David Weichman, number 15. And Matt Primrose, number 10, libero for Southern Exposure in the pink, blue, black, and other colors. And those one of my favorite uniforms in the league. The OC Stunners. Tanner Woods is not in the lineup today. Eddie Michigan is going to get the start at outside number 8. Josh Nels, also, speaking of people behind the scenes, who has been a producer on our broadcast before. He's still an active player. He's number 14 on the outside. Damani Lenore on the right side. Kevin Gear, number 12, will get the start in the middle today, giving Shane Beamer the day off. Also in the middle, of course, Nick West and his line of skateboards. Hui Ding is a libero, and setting again is number 7, Logan Zodovich. As we are underway, and Ding is immediately tested, and the Monty Lenore with the kill off the hands.
One small adjustment there. I think that we got a last-minute swap out over there. Logan Riding actually not playing right side for them. They'll instead be going with Connor Hanks, number 4, fresh off of his first international season, playing over in Romania. Who's actually teammates there with Uchenna Ofoha of San Diego Wild.
All right, so that is a last-minute change. Hanks out of UC Santa Barbara. So after they turned the lineup in, they did make that tweak. And the touch there, and OC Stunners quickly out to a 3-1 lead. Stunners coming in 2-1 in the year, 5 points overall at the National Coastal Division. Potentially the toughest division in the league right now, with New Jersey Freedom and a very good Puerto Rico Python squad.
You might have mentioned this. Are we well aware that John Andrews is playing middle?
John Andrews was not supposed to be in the starting lineup. So that's a change as well. Tony is messing with our minds here. It's not what was reported in pregame.
Yeah, that's going to be a little different. Just getting up to speed. Sometimes we get a little bit of paperwork, and there's pivots here and there. So.
Yeah, John Andrews, who was a standout player at New Jersey City University, where I work full-time as our chief communications officer. I've known him since he was 17 years old. He never played middle for NJCU. He was one of the top outside hitters in New Jersey college history.
Hey, sometimes when the call gets made, you answer that call, especially if it's something that's going to get you on the court. We haven't seen too much of John Andrews as a guy that's been in the NVA now for 2 seasons. Haven't seen too much of him on the court. So
yeah, we came in late last year after his eligibility expired. He signed Event 3 after their playoff season ended. His college head coach, by the way, as that is smashed down by Damani Lenore, is Carlo Edra, who is the head coach for the New Jersey Freedom. Obviously, Carlo would have loved to have him on his own club, but already has 3 all-star caliber outside hitters. Didn't have room for his player, was able to help him find a home on another club that needed help. Back set. Damani Lenore with the dig. It's going to come over on 1. Oh, in the middle! Annihilated!
Naturally not a middle himself.
Sam Jackman jacks it.
He's naturally a right side, so they've got all sorts of guys out of position, but man, what a swing.
Sam Jackman with a highlight. Put that one on the Instagrams. As that is long by Connor Hanks. I mean, that was like hitting lines right there. There's nobody on the court. Nope, for either team could do that. As much as we love Nick West, he's on our Mount Rushmore. I don't think too many of them are going to be smashing balls at the 1-foot line. All right, they're going to go here. Tyler Hubbard-Neal tries to snake it through, comes back for Southern Exposure. And nails the line, a useful spot for Zach Meyer. 6'5" outside to hitter, number 14 for Southern Exposure.
Man, that shot right there is everything that I characterize a great outside with. There is plenty of times that you get into a suboptimal situation, but you need to challenge the other team. Brilliantly placed there. That was a nice point for Exposure.
Dang with a good pass. Southern Exposure attacking again. Left it short. Adamant was Josh Nels that I did not touch that. And it's a 7-4 lead. Here is Kevin Gear. Hubbard-Neal with the pass. They go down the line. It's coming our way. Put away by Zach Meyer. Nick, you almost had the fair catch on that.
I went for it. Had to try. More defend all of the camera equipment where possible.
Nice new investments here this season, as you can see why the pictures are crystal clear this year. We've gone 4K here in the NVA. Come over on 1. Cross court, finding the slot for the kill is Meyer.
Wow, Meyer adjusted that really well. A little bit of a mislocated set off the net there. by Weishman, but nicely done to adjust and just, again, find that deep corner, high percentage swings time after time.
So the lead down to 1. Gonna come over on 1. Oh, couldn't get the bounce, but they got the touch. Myers slams it off the net. It's gonna fall in for the kill. Excuse me, I'll take it.
Little bit of a connection issue here going to the outside, but Zach Meyer is working his feet. I mean, that ball was back on the 10-foot line. He's now had 3 kills on suboptimal sets, but that's what it is to excel as an outside hitter.
So Jackman now to serve. That pushes John Andrews into the middle. That's too long.
Yeah, and something Ira, I want to talk about, when you see a middle that is out of position, like Andrews, you're willing to, at least in my opinion, knowingly give up some of that blocking pressure, but that means that everything that's a tip, a roll, all those little things, they need to happen very, very accurately and well. If they serve short, can Andrews help take that first ball, create a rhythm, create a tempo for the team, and make sure that the little bit of ball control that happens in front of that 10-foot line, he needs to try to help out and make sure that that's in system so that the rest of the offense is flowing very naturally. Because I'll be very curious to see how they use him in the offense, if at all.
Yeah, offensively, I don't think he's going to get very involved. He can block. I've seen John Andrews block from multiple spots on the court, but he's undersized for, at the professional level at 6'2". He'd fit in nicely on the Inland Empire Matadors in the middle.
Yeah. You can hear right now 2022 LA Blaze screaming, looking for some attention, where they played the entire season without any middles of their own. That's where Damani Lenore and Steven Roeder spent the entire season playing. Southern Exposure having a little bit of the same right now until Evan McDonough returns from England.
Oh, that is snaked through for a kill by Meyer, but what a diving dig there by Matthew Primrose, who came out number 10 with the right hand and stabbed at it to keep it alive. And Southern Exposure has tied it at 9.
Meyer, another one of those guys, if you want to throw together a brand new to the NVA All-Star team.
And it is gone. A grand slam for Southern Exposure.
That was single-handedly the most impressive serve I have ever seen. Clip it and send it to SportsCenter. If you want to validate what we're doing here, that embodies it in its entirety.
That one took down a low-flying drone.
That ball was still on the way up. Sometimes we joke about that as it crosses, like we make our hyperbolic statements. That was legitimately still going up.
It's landed on Catalina Island.
Double called on Hubbard Neal, blocked back into his face, into the net, and then he tried to get a little punch dig there, but 2 separate contacts. Chaos is ensuing here, Ira. Let's lock it down and pull it together.
I don't know if I could do that if I tried. Wow.
Yeah, physically, I am not strong enough.
I don't know if I could punt it that high.
I'm still a little upset, admittedly, that last night Kendall Ratter found hands when he stood on the court and hit into the ceiling, because I kind of wanted to see that ball actually hit the ceiling.
That one almost hit the scoreboard. Oh, man. Oh, that hits at the feet. Who says John Andrews can't play middle? John Andrews takes the Stunners to Rejection City.
That was a heck of a block right there from the shortest guy on the court.
You learned that on the mean streets of North Bergen, New Jersey. Beautiful place, actually. I love North Bergen. Andrews serving. Good pass here by Josh Nels. Michigan couldn't get the kill there, but another chance here for the Stunners. Kevin Gear delivers. It's been an entertaining first set. We've seen a little bit of everything. A block from a outside playing middle. A serve that landed on the moon.
Still in transit.
The FAA is on line 1. Great pass there by Primrose. Dang! Oh, scoops it as he dives out of bounds. And Michigan, I don't think that's coming. Oh, it might come back. It won't come back, but let's applaud the effort here for Zach Meyer for Southern Exposure. Got a touch and then hurdled his own sign without breaking it like New Jersey does the things. If you missed it in our first match of the day, the New Jersey Freedom, Now, let's just say they are breaking things along the way to a 3-0 victory over the LA Blaze. Tyler Hubbard-Neal swings away. Eddie Mishikian down the line. Can't get it to go. Yeah, Tim Ferritter for New Jersey ran into the Utah Stingers sign on the sideline and shattered it. PVC piping everywhere.
Dang near blew it up.
And then, as that will land for an ace, miscommunication between Nels and Michigan. That'll fall in, and the 13-12 lead. Yeah, then Tom Burrell, who wasn't playing in a match for New Jersey, used his Stevens Institute of Technology degree to rebuild the sign in like 3 minutes, like very MacGyver-like. Off the tape and out of play, misfire there for Lenore.
Unlucky bounce off the tape. That one really took off on him.
13-13 is our score as we have reached the midway point here in game number 1. Taking something off of that, but Ding read that well. Lenore, second try, and Primrose can't defend that. Last year's All-Star, formerly from the LA Blaze, able to chalk up a kill. 1-point lead for his side, and Eddie Mishigian will go back to serve. Try to give the fans back in Colorado, where he lives now, something to cheer for. See if he can get his team a 2-point lead before the timeout. Good pass there by his former teammate, Tyler Hubbard-Neal. Neal to swing, and Gear stuffs it down. 15-13 OC Stunners. That'll send us to our technical timeout here in game 1. Come back for more here live from Long Beach City College. Back here live, Ira Thor, Nick England, Noah Chest, and Haley Henderson as the New Jersey Freedom.
Hey, look, there's Matt Prosser.
That's Matt Prosser.
The 5th of our broadcast crew.
Hey, but he's got the day off. He's got family stuff. New Jersey Freedom have already won today. We'll see if it'll be the OC Stunners completing a 2-0 weekend, or if the Southern Exposure in their first match of the weekend get in the W column. We have 4 matches on tap for you today, as we do every day that there's not an all-star game. At 3 p.m., it'll be the red-hot Inland Empire Matadors taking on the Philadelphia Founders, seeking their first ever win. And then should be a good one later. Chicago Untouchables at 6 take on the Utah Stingers in one that, honestly, I think is a toss-up. Who could win that? I think it was split in the pregame show predictions. Some of us picked Chicago. I took Utah on that one, but with a question mark. So I'm really not sure who's going to win that one. So fans, stick around and watch. Good day of volleyball here in Long Beach, California. And sneaky, as that is put down by David Weichman, the setter out of Fresno State.
That was, I don't know quite where the Stunners were sleeping on that one. I don't think there was anything else he could do, but Weichman there, that was a heck of a move.
Good pass by Nels. Nick West getting a chance to swing away for the first time today. Free ball. Oh, they pushed it too long.
Meyer with a good idea, but less than optimal execution.
So substitution here. Lenore has been a little shaky in this one, so Matt Proster's not going to take any chances. Subs in number 4, Tanner Woods, fresh off the national championship at Vanguard NAIA. And that one connects with the Ramblers line. Long out of bounds. 18-15. And the lead for the Stunners grows to 3. We'll take a timeout, come back for more here in game number 1. Back here courtside as the Stunners have opened up a 3-point lead. Stunners on the season have a 3-2 victory over Puerto Rico. They lost 3-1 to New Jersey. Have a 3-1 victory yesterday against Chicago. They've run the gamut in terms of types of matches. Remember, you get 3 points for a win in 3 or 4 sets. You get 2 points for a victory in 5 sets, which is what they had against Puerto Rico. And you get 1 point if you lose in 5. Got to get something for going the distance. And they try to run John Andrews against Nick West. And if you're an outside hitter playing middle for the first time, that's a bad matchup.
Yeah, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. That's when I used to be with the Ramblers and would train against the Stunners, Nick West and I had a running joke that practice wasn't over until he had clamped me so far down that, you know, I was ready to just call it quits for the night.
And that will snake through Nels and West. Kill here for Southern Exposure, but they still trail by 4. And it will be their setter, Weichman, to serve. Substitution here. Beamer, Jane Beamer, did not get the start today. He's going to come in for Nick West. Yeah, Nick's not in the match. Maybe we have him hawk his skateboards live on the air. Or product display, or maybe he can even try him out.
Yeah, well, that's a great way for me to go to the hospital, but
I told him if there's a snowboard, if there's a Nick West snowboard, I might be okay. As that will fall through for a kill. Connor Hanks with the result, 21-17. Yeah, skateboard's not going to end well for me. Anything with wheels that doesn't have a steering wheel?
I don't know. To be fair, you got a flat between the hotel that's a mile away from here, so.
I blame the roads of Long Beach, California for having nails.
Well,
I didn't put the nail there. Sheegan with the pass. Back set, a little bit behind, but Tanner Woods makes the necessary adjustment. And by the way, it wasn't a flat, it was just low. It was down to 17 PSI.
the next time I have a bad match and someone's like, hey, you're playing like crap, I'm like, I'm not flat, I'm just low. I like that terminology. I think that's a nice, you know, lets you be a little bit of a wordsmith. I think you're kind of splitting hairs there.
Looking for the positivity and everything.
Okay, yeah.
Like that free ball, the positivity as it hits the floor. Tanner Woods positively destroys it.
This Stunner squad, every guy on the bench has seen playing time today except for Matt Hilling.
Matt Hilling is checking his Instagram.
I think he's being a team social media manager at the moment.
So he's checking everybody's Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, Matt, I need a mention. Let's go. Cross court. Oh, that's going to land upstairs. Big smash from Tyler Hubbard-Neal.
That was quite the explosive rip. Beamer almost gets behind it, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Here's John Andrews to serve. Good pass for the Stunners. It's hanging on the net, but Gear defends it. Tanner Woods off of the head of Jackman, I believe.
I think it was Hubbard-Neal.
It hit somebody in the head.
Oh, yeah, it did. That it was without a doubt.
Can we get an instant replay just to see who ended up with the concussion?
Yeah. There's been a couple headshots today that I don't envy the individuals involved.
You go to Jackman.
Oh, nice off blocker defense by Eddie.
Here with the tip. Dive by Primrose to keep it alive as they'll free it over. And it will go down onto Sneaky is Logan Zotovich. 25-18, that was game number 1 as the OC Stunners prevailed by 7. Game number 2 coming up next here from Long Beach, California. Stunners on top. Looking for more when we return. Back here courtside, Ira Thor, Nick England, and I believe for the first time ever, we're going to send it to Haley. Do you have a sideline report?
Not just yet.
Not
We're
just
waiting
yet.
on the coach.
I'm so excited to do so.
I know. You were so ready to throw it. We're going to get into that in just a minute.
Tony's going to come over, and we're going to have our debut. But first of all, before we move on to Haley's interview, Southern Exposure, it was 13-13. What changed from there before the Stunners pulled away?
I think that's where Stunners started to find their groove, but I want to hear a little bit more about it from the side of the coach. Over to Haley here with the coach of Southern Exposure.
All right, we have Coach Kyle here. Just wondering how the strategy for your hitters in the front. What was the game plan today?
We are, playing without a middle blocker on the roster today, so we're having to makeshift a few things. So if we can pass a little better, it's going to make the Pens' life a little easier, but we had to be so pin heavy in the first set. Made life a little tough on us in the first set, but I think we got a good game plan coming back here in set 2. We'll see. We'll change some things around, see if we can get some offense going here.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Haley, and that's, obviously the issue today for Southern Exposure is not only had they been rebuilding the roster, when they're rebuilding the roster and don't have all their pieces to work with, that forces shifts that put guys in unnatural positions. I thought that John Andrews actually did a good job trying to seize that moment, got a block, got a kill, got involved with a couple of short touches, because he is a pin hitter, so he knows how to pass.
Right.
And they got to figure out how they can then use that to their advantage today.
Sure. Now, one of the biggest things you have to overcome is it's easy to see where he didn't make what maybe you call mistakes. At the same time, there was an absence of pressure in the middle blocker position. And as a middle back defender, man, does that just feel impossible at times to really get those defensive stops back row without a scheme in front of you to play behind.
Do you make a switch now where you have Jackman going up against that Nick West Beamer combination and allow Andrews to maybe team up against Gear?
I'm not so worried about the middle, the one-on-one. Stunners have not been as middle heavy offensively. One of the biggest things, though, is it's going pin to pin. So what I would probably be doing is I would bring both of my pin blockers in about a foot, because I'd rather give more line that's easier to hit and give my back row players a chance to dig that ball, but guarantee that a less experienced middle blocker is able to get out there and close the block. I don't need seams everywhere. I'd rather have a well-formed double block inside what might be considered ideal, and then make the setter for the Stunners make the set to give his guys the opportunity to hit the line, and then make them beat my defenders. Primrose playing some great defense back there. The wing diggers in general look good. So this is one of those things that when you're playing a suboptimal lineup, you have to optimize and make the other team really earn their points. And I think that's kind of those tactical things that you need to see that high-level players need to make high-level adjustments. We'll see what they choose to do here on the side of Southern Exposure. One small adjustment, and that's going to be seeing number 8 making his entry. And this is Logan
Riding, who was in the original starting lineup on the right side, and he will be out there on the court now. Great insights from you, England Insights here on NVA USA, our second matchup for today. At Southern Exposure in the point column first. Nels with the pass. They go back to Josh Nels. And a big dig here for Weichman. Hubbard Neal. And unable to be dug off the net by Damani Lenore. And credit to Kill. All-Star from 2022 against All-Star from 2022. Hubbard Neal against Lenore there. Michigan's pass just a bit off the mark there, able to keep it alive and send it deep. And Nick West with the shutdown. Josh Nell's the server. Reach out and stuff someone! Eddie Michigan teaming with West to close it down.
Well, we talked about what Exposure could do with their blocking side, but meanwhile, Stunners is the one putting on a clinic here instead.
That's nearly, and it is 3 in a row for the Stunners, and it's Michigan and West again taking the Stunners to Rejection City. Southern Exposure has to find a way to hit around those guys right now. They are doing a tremendous job of cutting off the angles. Here's Lenore. They're going to go outside the Hubbard Neal. Did he clip the hands? He did. He got it. And I believe anyway.
Damani Lenore in the net.
Yeah, he got lulled into the net anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I like the adjustment for Tyler Hubbard Neal. The set was off the mark, Nick, but he's able to stutter step there. And, all right, look, he had the hands there and he used them.
Right.
Riding's first serve here for Southern Exposure. Eddie Michigan. Well, he's getting some motivation now from his blocking game and turning into kills.
Eddie's always been one of those guys that he might be a little undersized, but it's all about playing within his game. Find those passes, then find the swings, the block kind of levels up, and he just elevates that game throughout, has a lot of emotional intensity, and that's why he just continuously finds success on a variety of teams, regardless of, where he's, undersized compared to a lot of outside hitters.
Too long. Nick West applying the pressure on the serve. And the lead is 2. Yeah, if you like underdogs, Eddie Michigan's one of those guys you root for as an undersized outside hitter continuing to find success.
Gotta say, it's kind of funny, though. You look at guys like Damani Lenore and Eddie Mushikian getting the move over from Blaze and Exposure, respectively. Feels like an
ace off the tape.
Certainly does. But it feels like a bit of a lucky saving grace for two guys that were on teams that struggled pretty significantly last year to find yourself on a squad that was, in the championship match. They are definitely not disappointed with the moves that they were able to make.
Two guys who were on playoff teams, but teams that were in the quarterfinals and out pretty quickly last year. And that one will find a way through as Zach Meyer, the Jamestown University product, going to get the kill, and they'll hand it off to Connor Hanks out of UC Santa Barbara. Michigan with the pass, run down, and then misfire long by Lenore.
Lenore went from one of the most lights-out performances weekend 1 to struggling a bit here this weekend. Definitely going to be one of those guys that Stunners is going to be needing to rely on.
Lenore was up and down in the first set. That's going to be almost a perfect set. Oh, and Tyler Hubbard Neal capitalizes What a set, falling out of bounds for Southern Exposure and able to make something out of it. Yeah, Damani Lenore was up and down in the first set. Still hit 57% though with 4 kills. And an ace. Orlando takes the lead 7-6. Connor Hanks takes something off of it. This is just short. 52% Southern Exposure, or correction, Stunners hit in the first set. Southern Exposure 41%, and a lot of that was without the blocking for the Stunners getting in full effect, which it has now. Jackman, that one will find a way through. A bit of a paintbrush swing for Jackman as he arrived a little early to the set, but they'll take it. So here's Tyler Hubbard-Neal. And the only player on the court right now who was a starter last year for Southern Exposure. Completely rebuilt team. Eddie Michigan down the line, taking advantage of his former teammate.
Put some pace on that one. Nice little swing there.
And, you know, Tyler Hubbard-Neal was in the right spot, too. That just had a zip on it. Here's Michigan. Good serve. From the back row. Dang. Got dinged.
Ding got danged?
Either way, Zach Meyer.
That's a tongue twister.
He said, she said.
Yeah. Betty bought her butt some butter. No.
Gonna do some Dr. Seuss here. I could pull out
Redfish, bluefish.
Fox got socks. Ding is right there for it. Josh Nell, sneaky with a useful spot.
Great ball. Just really had a good sense of where Hubbard-Neal had been playing defensively, about 20 feet down his line, respecting that line shot from Nels, but that off speed, very, very well placed.
Kevin Gear with the serve. And great swing there as they set up. Sam Jackman swinging out of the right side for the smash. So 1 point lead here, and it'll be Jackman serving. Brought back here by Zodovic, and Lenore rips it long. And Southern Exposure hanging around here. In fact, they got a 2-point lead. Southern Exposure, the only team to take down the Matadors this year.
Certainly an impressive one that they get to wear that badge of honor as the season progresses, given how Matadors continue playing. Wow, Southern Exposure is really defying some physics here today, making us question if gravity applies to them all the same. That is the second launched ball.
You could have been your first home run call.
Well, I missed the opportunity on Zach Meyer's first one because that was a grand slam.
He clearly goes over the Southern Exposure wall, about 370 down the line for a solo shot. Eddie Michigan stabbing at that one to keep it alive, and Nels going to dump it over. Chance for Southern Exposure, back row, off of the fingertips, maybe the head of Nick West, but either way, a kill going down for Southern Exposure, Zach Meyer from the back row. Nick West stands about 6'9" or so.
Not quite.
Lenore with the left hand. Good save by Tyler Hubbard-Neal as they dump it over. Nels with a rip. Great dig there by Primrose. And blocked back, Nick West. shuts it down.
It's definitely an interesting look to see this the Stunners lineup here that is so much shorter than we're used to seeing without Shane Beamer. Well, I mean, the middles are about the same height, but not seeing Caldwell, Hilling, Chavers, just a variety of these guys. Even Jair Santiago on the right had a significant head up on where Damani Lenore is. You know, some of those guys that you've just seen big towers on this team.
Gonna go back to Lenore, and he plants it.
Oh my God. That's a heck of a set by Zodovic. Damani Lenore definitely needed that swing, kind of get a little bit of a sense of rhythm back. Great rip all the same.
And he's perfectly capable of doing that, but rhythm is the word. He's one of those guys when he gets in rhythm is very difficult to stop. He hasn't been stopped yet today, really. The mistakes have been, with the exception of one block, the mistakes have been him just misfiring long.
Yeah.
Those are personal mistakes that you can shake out as that goes too long. 2-point lead here for Southern Exposure.
Something we haven't talked about too much today. I kind of alluded to it yesterday. The fun fact for you here, Logan Riding, number 8, professional disc golfer. So not only is he out here playing outside hitter now, as someone that's traditionally only played opposite, he's now making his debut as an outside hitter as a massive shutdown block for the Exposure. That's going to take us into the quick television timeout here at 15:12. We'll be right back to see if Southern Exposure can hold on to this one.
Back here courtside, 3-point lead for Southern Exposure, trying to even this match at 1 apiece. There's Connor Hanks.
Left the last one short, but he's been very aggressive on his approach line. See if he's able to create a little bit more momentum here. Indeed he can.
Gear going to leave it for Michigan. And it lands on the line.
Hubbard Neal. Oh, man.
Yeah, he got some redemption there on his former teammate after Michigan basically hit him in the kneecaps with an attack a few points ago.
Yeah, this is the most head-to-head as it gets. As Exposure has a lot of new faces. Mushikian against Hubbard Neal now playing opposite. You know, this is as much as you're going to see each other get to go one-on-one. What a save by Zodovic.
Wow. Going
over the net. Had anyone touched the ball for Exposure, that would have been a back row attack, but no one up there to penalize him. Zodovic making that set happen. Great ball by him.
And unfortunately for Zodovic, front row player there, able to elevate and preserve it. I thought he was going to try to dump it, quite frankly, as that goes on.
Again, he was back row.
Was he back row?
That's what I was saying. Had anyone touched that ball from Southern Exposure, it would have been their point. But he was so on top of that, threw it back early. Just mad props. Very well executed.
Yeah, if that's what he's back row, so he cannot attack there. At least not going over the
Legally?
net. Not legally, but that sails long. Yeah, but either way, great one-handed save there and allowing Stunners to rip at it. Kevin Gear, they don't lose a ton when he's out there, and that's, you know, listen, he's talented. He's just behind 2 all-stars in Nick West and Shane Beamer. As that one is put down by Jackman.
Great little bit of vision there. He saw that, you know, he's pulled Zodovic into a full blocking commit. Zodovic not able to get off, and that means just an easy ball to throw it down. Damani Lenore a little too deep there. Nobody home. Using the physicality and the verticality. Well done by Jackman.
And Kevin Gear probably a starter on majority of the teams in this league. 4-point lead.
Well, Zach Meyer missed by significantly less with that one by keeping it on the ground. Didn't quite hit the back wall 3/4 of the way up. So baby steps, Ira. Small improvements go a long way.
So it's just a double down the line this time.
Yeah.
Here's Kevin Gear. That's it short.
Best part is at the end of the day, every miss is all the same on the scoreboard. So Kevin Gear's missing the net. Not a great look, but
Might be the same on the scoreboard, but if you're hitting the ceiling on your serve,
one would argue that that's a flex.
Here's Jackman. Michigan, good pass there. They go to Nels, and he gets it to go off the hands.
Weichman there, not quite ready to handle the heat. Tanner Woods, though, ready to put his 2 cents in here as he replaces Damani Lenore.
So here's Zodovic. And that will fall in.
I love that. Hubbard Neal, even though he's playing opposite right now, steps into the passing line. They get Logan Riding out of it, letting him just commit fully on hitting front row. This is where you get high-level players making small in-game adjustments, running a system that you don't normally see. But when you understand the game just beyond a basic level, you can start to kind of make these small adjustments, and Southern Exposure doing well here.
Run down. Primrose with the set and the roll shot. Tanner Woods was there for it. Josh Nels with the aggressive dump. And that's going to fall in. Campfire for Zach Meyer.
That's got to come up from the side of the Stunners. They had all day long to pop open a book and read that one coming over.
And the Stunners are going to call a timeout. It's a 5-point lead for Southern Exposure. Looking to tie this match at a set apiece when we return. Five-point lead for Southern Exposure in our second of 4 matches today. Ended up being a beautiful day outside here in Long Beach, California, but oh my God, inside it's heating up as well. Tanner Woods buries it.
You know, it's great when you get those kind of points, helps get the guys a little bit back in the smiling mood, but at the same time, I mentioned it earlier, all points are the exact same on the scoreboard, so they're still down by 4. Stunners still has some ground to finish.
And a quick answer for Southern Exposure.
Logan Riding, nicely done on the right side, going cross court and tacking Zodovic.
So Riding will be the server. And Eddie Mishikian delivers. 67 and mostly sunny here in Long Beach. There's actually a youth beach volleyball tournament going on outside.
Yeah, it's CIF if I'm not mistaken. SoCal CIF is the I don't know what it is state to state, but it's just the it's the high school competition level.
I was watching that while drinking a cup of coffee between matches. Diving save here for Zodovic. Tyler Hubbard Neal with the roll, but well read here by Tanner Woods. And Woods swinging away, finds the slot.
A lot of adaptation on the fly there. That versatility, that screams Stunner volleyball. Might be some new faces over there, but that's what they've always done so well. Even in moments that you would characterize the team as out of system, they thrive in finding ways to get the team back in system, scoring effectively. Now down by just 3.
3-point lead. Nick West. Southern Exposure very fortunate not to get ace there, but a chance here for the Stunners. Kevin Gear. Nick West showing some defense. Josh Nels got the touch. Southern Exposure saying no way, and they immediately motion that they'd like to see it again.
I saw that one go left off the tape. I didn't see a touch. I don't know. Noah, you're seeing it a little different over there? All right, well, quick wager on the broadcast side. Touch, thumbs up if you saw a touch. All right, we got it split. The sideline reporter crew both saw touches. Both the broadcasters did not.
Well, they also have a very different angle than we have.
Yeah, I'm gonna retract how stern I feel about this one very shortly. I think here, but we'll have to see it all the same. Either way, I think that one bounced off the tape wide left. And again, where I'm using to judge this one off of, if you're Exposure, you don't challenge this if you think if you touched it or not. You don't challenge this if you didn't. And if you did, then someone's getting yelled at.
I mean, you know if you touched it or not.
Oh, they netted. Perfect.
Oh, that's a different thing. A touch and a net. Those are two different challenges.
Yeah, so that's looking like a net there. But if I'm not mistaken, oh wait, no, maybe it's not. Maybe I was just.
All right, so
that is
no
off
touch
the tape.
there. That's off the tape.
That's off the tape. Okay. I was seeing things a little wonky there, but no, it's all good. That was what I thought off. Wide left of block.
Yeah, there's no touch from Hubbard Neal. The only question is, was there a net?
Well, it doesn't matter. Not NCAA rules. If you don't challenge a net call, you cannot call a net on a challenged touch, regardless of what you see here. So that is a rule collegiately. That is not in effect here. So all we're looking at is did that touch block.
Does he graze his wrist? I don't see it there. So basically, you can't look for a murder, but then find a stolen car.
Exactly. Can't be looking for multiple things, and that's done at the international level because it must be explicit that you're calling for a specific thing, not finding happy accidents. In the phraseology of Bob Ross. So that's a great point for Exposure. They're going to give them back a 4-point lead, 23-19. Putting Connor Hanks back on the service line. I feel like we've seen him here a large portion of this match, doing a nice job continuing to extend some rallies for them.
Sheegian on the free ball, Jackman will put it down.
Done.
Over ball. In that situation, it's almost always going to hit your side of the court.
That was really well done. That ball was going to die almost on the net, so instead of swinging and potentially netting, just a nice redirect there, going to zone 2. Well done by Jackman.
5 set points for Southern Exposure. Oh. Over on one, Jackman ends it with authority.
God, Jackman.
Back-to-back free balls on overpasses that Southern Exposure sees Jackman destroy, and we are even at 1 set apiece. And we will come back game number 3. Southern Exposure beginning to rise here in Long Beach. Back here courtside in Long Beach, and Haley Henderson standing by with the former member of her crew. He's now coaching the Stunners, And here's Matt.
Thank you, guys. We have our very own Matt Prosner here. So we had a lot of really great block touches, and it ended up being quite a block party at one point. Was that a point of emphasis for you guys coming into this match?
Well, I think it's a point of emphasis for every match for our team is our blocking defense. It's one of, we've got to capitalize with the guys that we have, our size, and being disciplined, right, and making sure we take what we're responsible for taking on the blocker side so that our backcourt can adjust to it as well.
Perfect. Are we going to see any lineup changes in this set 3?
Make one little tweak to start set 3 with our middles, but then just to continue to utilize everybody that we got today.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you. Good luck. Back to you guys.
I already miss Matt Prosser. It's only been a day since he joined us here in the booth, and feels like forever.
Yeah, that's just, you feel like you've had a little bit taken away from you, but it just means more time for the rest of us here on the crew to bond today. You and I getting plenty of screen time. I'm excited, though, for what's coming next. That was surprise number 1, Haley joining the squad. But up next, when I take a little breather here, we're going to see.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Don't say it.
I won't spoil any secrets. For that one, you got to tune into the next match to see what's going to be coming your way. If you've been a longtime fan of the NVA, I know you've been waiting for this moment, but to get full tickets to that show, you got to show up at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I think it's going to be a fun one.
We'll have a new analyst alongside, and it's not your dog Ollie, but I would welcome that.
Hey, Ollie's just here for a good time. As he's gotten older, my wife is still working on training him to, let out a couple barks of support every now and then. You'll hear them throughout the gym as he attends virtually every single SD Wild match. Some have said that he has betrayed the NVA as the official mascot of the NVA and now become the official mascot of the SD Wild. Not sure he's the right color for our grizzly bear logo. Maybe he's the polar bear alternate, but we like to keep things wild out there.
He's the official mascot, the official canine of the NVA. Set number 3 begins with a service error. If the Southern Exposure are able to pull this set off, and then what do you do if you're Matt Prosser? Do you go back and put your regulars out there? They cannot afford an accidental loss today by, making changes to the lineup. And no disrespect to Southern Exposure, but at the end of the day, OC Senators are still a championship-level caliber team. As that one will find the line, but useful spot there on the line was left open, and Stunners alertly get it. Josh Nels will serve. And of course, we have to mention that not only do they not have Cody Caldwell today, Corey Chavers still playing overseas. We expect to see him later in the year. And a side out for the Stunners, who have taken a 3-0 lead. Tyler Hubbard, Neal. Nels does a good job of keeping that in play. Eddie Mashikian's going to get it to go. Crafty play for the former Southern Exposure standout. Here's Nels to serve again. Back set down the line. Ding, what a dig there to keep it alive. From the back row, blocked back. Run down here by Primrose and a free ball. Ding, perfect pass. They set up Lenore. And Southern Exposure continuing to hang around for this point. And a bury in the middle.
What a set by Weichman.
Connor Hanks now swinging out of the middle there, able to deliver the monster kill. And Logan Riding will serve. It's a 4-1 game now, but that's an answer for Southern Exposure. Another great pass by Ding, and Kevin Gear with a follow.
Wow, the middle's determined not to be outdone. Kevin Gear, the Nittany Lion, says, hey, watch my turn. Here we go. Cut back there. Nicely swung.
Listen, the starting libero for the OC Stunners is Dylan Shigekawa, who's one of the best in the league. The fact that you have Wee Ding as your number 2 lib. I mean, he could start for most teams in this league you're seeing right now.
I don't know that that's a starting lineup that's set. By the way, Shigekawa got one match, had a very good showing.
So that might be fluid.
Oh, that's very much. Both those guys are still competing. The fact that Dylan Shigekawa out of UC Irvine Club played with me there while we were national runner-ups in 2014, played Moore Park Community College. That guy, I can't believe how exceptional he is. Not here this weekend. That means that Hui Ding is getting a lot of playing time. But Hui, I believe, originally is from China. He played ball here collegiately, if I'm not mistaken, at Concordia, and has been around. So just a well-traveled individual joining the NVA for the first time.
And Damani Lenore unleashes the ace. Yeah, Ding can defend.
Yeah, he's
a good pickup.
Yeah. Very, very well-rounded individual.
And Southern Exposure down 5 after that ace. Going to discuss. We'll take a timeout. Come back for more. 5-point lead for the Stunners. Back here in Long Beach, 5-point lead for the Stunners. It was a 5. Oh, we almost had a wrong guy on the court here for Southern Exposure. Jackman swinging away. I don't know how Ding was able to keep that alive as he pretty much gave up his body for the play.
So let's actually talk about that one. Anyone that's confused by why that kind of flailed at that ball, the libero, back row, cannot set with their hands in front of the 10-foot line. If they could, a team could guarantee that they basically have a back row setter at all times. That's why the rule's implemented. So he had to make sure to isolate his hands while his feet were on the other side of the line, and that's why you saw him look a little off kilter, off balance perhaps. But got the set, and again, NVA, doubles virtually uncalled. In fact, I don't know that we've had an actual double called this weekend on a hand contact. We've had a couple of double contacts that someone hits a ball, hits the net, hits them, that kind of thing. But on handsets, I don't recall one that was called this weekend. Maybe you recall one.
There's only one, and it was a triple, basically. So it had to be called. But other than that, that's it. And it was tough. It was on one where, I want to say it was Chicago, where they're falling out of bounds and trying not to fall into the bleachers. So you're trying to do 3 things at once.
Yeah.
Find the ball, set the ball, and not fall backwards into the bleachers. All right, 9-3 lead now.
Yep.
And a net violation.
No
10-foot line violation, I should say, on the attack there.
Little back row attack. Either way, Logan Riding, I'm really liking the route that he's running out of the back row. That one just barely stepping on the line, but a good route all the same.
Eddie Michigan, your server. His team, a 7-point lead. Much better pass there by Primrose. And put away. Some gas on that one by Zach Meyer.
The physicality from number 14 has not stopped, and they need it to continue if Southern Exposure wants to battle their way back in. No one ever wants to be down by 6, but Ira, if you are, this is the time for it to be the case because you've got time to slowly build back into this. But if they let this go too much longer, we're going to be going the distance here.
Good pass by Josh Nels, your neighbor.
Yeah.
Lenore, and this will be freed over again. Back to Josh Nels, hanging in the air. And that's sent over, kept alive here. And time for Nick West to put an exclamation mark on the longest rally of the set.
That's one of those things that, you know, you remove guys like Matt Hilling and even Tanner Woods from the court. Some of that lethality, the ability to finish a point missing from some of the Stunners' repertoire right now. So Nick West had to be the answer. Put an exclamation point, and Hubbard Neal not quite able to find that one, regardless of how many digs exposure it had.
Kevin Gear elects the pass instead of attacking. Then an error by Nels after a great serve by Nick West, who just continues to, just make it impossible to stay in system after he's serving.
Got to be critical there. Kevin Gear, that free ball ends up at 8 or 9 feet off the net. It has to be in system. That's got to be a better first contact because Josh Nels was the only option for them there, especially with only 2 hitters front row, with Zodovich front row. That pass removed him from an offensive option as a dump. That one's got to be better.
Great pass by Nels, and Gear gets a touch here, so.
A little rectified the situation.
Listen, as long as you don't compile those mistakes, you can live with an error now and then. And they still lead by 7 as they bring back in Tanner Woods.
I'm really curious what the thought process is behind, using the Tanner through the front row, kind of through the middle of the game. I don't know if they're going to hold him. Is this that they're just looking at potentially an alternative for Lenore if he's struggling? I'm curious what their thought process is.
Zodovich with the running set. It's going to come our way. Hello, Mr. Primrose. How are you?
Just, that's what I feel most blessed about this, Ira, is we just have the rare privilege. We get front row seats to every match. You get guys like Primrose putting that hustle out. We get a little hello. Just, we're just so engaged. It's like the splash zone at SeaWorld. Shamu putting on the show.
From the back row, that's blocked back. Saved by the head of Tyler Hubbard as he went down. And a reach out and stuff someone. Big time block for Southern Exposure as the setter David Weichman shuts it down.
So much we talk about, just don't make the error. Don't let the play end on your side, and that's the reason right there. You let your team make the play, give the ball another chance.
Tanner Woods. Primrose with the dig. That's blocked back. Primrose with the cover. Zodovich. Ding had the cover for that one, and a touch. Tanner Woods got it for the kill.
Ding having to make a little bit of a marathon run there to find that layup for Tanner Woods, but Woods being patient and driving deep, high IQ swing. Love to see it.
Yeah, Ding is making moves out on the court like he's riding one of Nick West's custom skateboards. And that is just bombed down by Logan Riding. And that will split the gap there. Cross up between Ding and Nels. Regardless, still a 6-point lead. Much better pass by Ding. Tanner Woods unleashing.
A little backside combo there, bringing Tanner Woods on a back 2. See if they can get that block moving around on the side of Southern Exposure. And frankly, when you got a 5 or 6, in this case now 7-point lead, sometimes offenses like to have a little fun, mix things up.
Of course, no timeout here as Southern Exposure's already used their first timeout in the set, so we don't go to the media, and that is put away here by Southern Exposure. Another kill for Zach Meyer.
Exposure's still scoring well, but they've just got to be more efficient in holding onto the ball here to start closing this gap up. That first serving run really put them behind the power curve, but missed opportunities like that from Hanks are just the antithesis of what this team needs right now to turn the boat around.
More than halfway through the third set, I should say. 1-1 score between Southern Exposure and last year's runners-up, the OC Stunners. That's live short. Here's Tyler Hubbard-Neal. Sheegan with a great pass that allows Nick West to get involved with the offense for the kill. And I think Matt Hilling on the bench caught that on his phone. You can check out the Stunners on Instagram. Handle is Stunners NVA USA for some great Stunners content. If you're a fan of the Orange County squad. And if you like content like that from Southern Exposure, man, Sam Jackman adding to the highlights. You can check out Southern Exposure NVA on Instagram. Sam Jackman just made a statement. John Andrews returning. Out of New Jersey City University. Jackman there to seize the moment. And he gives a big hug to John Andrews, applying the service pressure.
Jackman's really been on the receiving end of a lot of service pressure that comes back to the net. It's scored him now 3 points between the last 2 sets. Very, you can always be thankful when your guys on the service line are generating that kind of pressure.
So they'll take a timeout. We'll come back for more live here in Long Beach. (17-12), game number 3. Stunners looking to improve to 3-1 on the year. Nels got caught there on the rebound. Jackman teaming up, I believe it was with Logan Riding there. Yes, it was Riding for the double block. And now the deficit is just 4 for Southern Exposure. John Andrews certainly got to start today at middle and was surprisingly adept at that role, and we know he can serve. Nels, great dig there by Primrose. And it'll be freed over nice and deep. They go to Nick, and he gets the kill. Nick West against Jackman. Are they saying they caught Nick on the way back? There's going to be a discussion here between our lead official.
Yeah, that was not anywhere close to Nick West. That was definitely off the hands of Jackman and deflected out of bounds.
Jung Park is our R1 in the chair today. Patrick Bradley is our R2. Joey Aguiar and Katie Mahoney are on the lines, and they do get together and get this right.
Even Jackman was telling the guys through the net, like, hey, I know that wasn't the case, and he was kind of orchestrating, like, fair play, like, let's not get derailed on a missed call here. Let's get this right. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, and especially when you know that you're going to have instant replay as an option with the challenge system. And while it's not foolproof, sometimes you can't see things conclusively. They're not going to waste the time for a clear-cut call. They have to get the scoreboard right here, so they're going to make an adjustment. That's the cause for the delay. Should be a 5-point lead for the Stunners. And Nick West is going to serve.
The score is 14-17. I'll take 13. But if we're hitting drops correctly, it's 14-17.
There you see the current head coach of the Orlando Southern Exposure, Kyle Steele. Team that has been run for years by Tony Glessner and O.J. Catalan. And the dangerous Nick West serving away. Dumped on 2. Nels with the swing. Primrose is there. And off the hands for the kill. Southern Exposure gets 1 from Logan Riding. So a side out, Sam Jackman will serve. 6'6" middle blocker. Running this down is Nels. They can't keep it in play, and that's an ace for Jackman. Gets excited with a chest bump. And the deficit suddenly is 3 when the Stunners appeared that they were going to run away with this third set. Jackman takes something off of that. Kevin Gear, Jackman. And then over on 1, Gear finishes what he started. Served by Zodovic. And that's going to fall in. Michigan, who was in the deep middle spot there, couldn't come up quickly enough. 2-point lead, now 3-point lead, I should say, for the OC Stunners in a 1-1 game. Woods, Primrose there for the dig, but to come over on 1. Kevin Gear able to coax Southern Exposure into the net. Logan Riding raises his arm. Knows he's guilty. Pass there by Hubbard Neal. Blocked back. Can Gear recover quickly enough? They do for a second touch. And then pushing his teammates to the floor. That's bullying. And Gear lucky to send it over. This is a broken play. Can Southern Exposure capitalize? They will. Tyler Hubbard Neal off of the block. After David Wykeman saves the day, straight to the floor, he and Connor Hanks just hug it out to make up. And an ace!
Southern Exposure rallying back. This is definitely one of those things we've talked about multiple times. Not only is their run right now concerning for the side of the Stunners, but it's extraordinarily concerning in the sense that like they're building momentum. So even if they drop this set, they feel hot right now to be down from 7 or 8 points to be making this run back. And now we're going to see Shane Beamer stepping in for the last rotation of the front row middle right now to replace Kevin Gear. Coach Prosser looking like he's just trying to slow some stuff down.
They go to Beamer, and he immediately is a lightning rod. Shane Beamer blast that. It could have been a 1-point game if Southern Exposure could have scored again after the ace by Riding. Beamer will serve now, pushing Nick West to the front row. 21-18. And finding the slot there, another kill for Zach Meyer. Two-point deficit, chance of making a 1-point game. Zodovic leaves it, and wow, Woods just delivers a hammer there in a much-needed time. Because, man, if this gets to 1, Nick, my money would then go to Southern Exposure.
It's not a position they want to be in for sure. That was a heck of a set by Zodovic, getting his right hand parallel to the net. A little bit of some funky stuff there, but nice back set to Woods. Can he make this serve count?
Remember, it was a 7-point lead at one point. And a touch there. Zach Meyer keeping his team within striking distance now. So Tyler Hubbard-Neal all in his hands. Eddie Michigan with the pass. They go back to Eddie with the tip finger roll. Going to come over, and Nick West couldn't get it to fall. Another chance for the Stunners. Change of direction, but kept alive by Riding. What a great platform pass. Eddie Michigan swinging away. Riding again was there. Stunners, can they capitalize here? Michigan snakes it through.
Wow, great defense on the side of Exposure, but the grit is too much from the side of the OC Stunners. Able to lock that point in, and now a 3-point lead reestablished will warrant a timeout called on the side of Southern Exposure. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
With 23-20, 2 points away from taking a 2-1 lead are the Stunners. Michigan kept it alive, comes back by Jackman. Woods slams it through. Disappointed Southern Exposure. Did so much work to get back in this set and now faces 4 set points. Primrose able to save it, and that's going to be trickled over. Woods tries to end the set, can't do it here as he misses long. So set point number 2, Zach Meyer will be your server. And that is long, and that'll come to a conclusion here in Game 3, 25-21. And the Orange County Stunners have themselves a 2-1 lead in our second match of the day. Come back for set number 4 live here in Long Beach to see if the Stunners can win for the second time this weekend. Back here courtside, San Bernardino, not anymore. We are in Long Beach, California. And, well, right now it hasn't been smooth sailing for the OC Stunners, but they certainly stood by a test there in game number 3. Down 7. Southern Exposure was able to rally within 2. Just couldn't get it across that finish line. So now they have a little bit of an uphill battle. They'll put Damani Lenore back in the lineup. Well, the Stunners. Otherwise, I don't see any other changes. Kevin Gear back in the starting rotation. They're going to have to win the next 2 Southern Exposure against a Stunner squad that, you know, at this point in the match, I don't see them giving away any more games. Southern Exposure loses this, they will fall to 1-2 on the year. They have the Utah Stingers tomorrow at 3 p.m. Their 1 win of the season came against the Inland Empire Matadors. Aaron King, who's not on the floor today, was the man of the match for that one. And Kevin Gear inserted back on the floor, reemerges with a smash. Set was off the mark, so a chance here for the Stunners. Kevin Gear, I think that was kept alive. Hubbard Neal, did he get a hand underneath it? Officials say no, that connected the floor. And Kevin Gear with a windmill type kill. $2-0 lead. Stunners continue to serve. Zodovic. And that's wide. Wee Ding able to dive out of the way of that one. 3-0. Good start so far in game 4 for the Stunners. Southern Exposure won the second set 25-19, 25-18, 25-21 in the first and third for the Stunners. Blocked back, it's going to stay in play. Hubbard Neal had to play it. They'll leave it for the most athletic man on the court for either team.
Yeah, Damani really turned that one on. Just, you know, you just see the physicality going that 2-2 swing that we've talked a little bit about.
Damani Lenore, one of the highest flyers in the NVA, if not the highest. We need to have a skills challenge at the All-Star game this year, and that includes a vertical leap challenge, yeah. Obviously, it's going to have to be based on height. We're going to have to.
Nice kill out of the middle there.
It wouldn't be fair to have like an Eddie Mishigian at 5'11" going against a 6'10" middle from the New Jersey Freedom and Matt Seifert.
Yeah.
Down the line, going to find its way in for a kill.
Zach Meyer continuing to get it done, just producing on all sides of the ball. Really a critical part of this Exposure lineup.
He's got a match high 15 kills now.
Hitting over 50%.
Monty Lenore clips the antenna. Point goes over to Southern Exposure. Neither of these teams hitting at a super high rate, both below 50% through the first 3 sets. Eddie Mishikian leads the way for the Stunners. His fans will be happy to hear that. 10 kills at 56%, along with a couple of block points. Nick West has 6 block points so far, as that is missed down the line, and that's allowing Southern Exposure, after being down 3-0, come back and tie it.
Both sides of the pins missing on the line attacks there. Both Nels and Lenore.
They go back to Lenore, and that's pushed down. Ding, gonna leave it for Josh Nels. Ding to Lenore. Oh my God. 4-4 by Lenore, and it's going to fall in for the Southern Exposure.
Oh my goodness, what an off-blocker dig there for Exposure. That one falls in, and I feel like that is very telling of the story going on right now on the court. The errors compounding for the side of the Stunners with a lead now for Exposure.
And now the Stunners, they got to shake this off and start waking up. Kevin Gear helps that cause.
Well, if there's one thing you can rely on, it is the Stunners middles to produce. Kevin Gear getting it done there.
Yeah, Stunners beginning to fall asleep a little bit out there. Southern Exposure is going to capitalize. They are a scrappy bunch this year. That's left short. Gear misfires. Southern Exposure has themselves a 2-point lead after being down 3-0. And Lenore gets the touch that time. Just too high for Tyler Hubbard-Neal to shut down. So here is Kevin Gear. Toe on the block is Riding for the kill. Logan Riding, his 5th kill. Only played his 2nd and 3rd sets. Zodovich from Michigan, and he tools the block. Well into double figures and kills now is Eddie, getting his start today after sitting out yesterday's match.
A little bit of a grudge match for Mushikian, doing a nice job.
And Lenore serving. And that one is missed by Riding.
That's going to be Riding's 2nd hitting error. He's been blocked twice to 5 kills. Not hitting an overly impressive stat line, but he's been answering a lot of calls here, trying to play on the left, play on the right, and just get it done for the team. But that ball gets sprayed a little wide, giving Exposure, or sorry, the Stunners their first lead of the match, or this set.
As that's pushed wide, the Stunners back in front. And Jackman quickly ties it.
Wow, put some heat on that one. Jackman's had a couple balls that he is absolutely hammered.
So here's Logan Riding. And in the middle, it's Nick West, old reliable.
Little off speed, just throwing that one down, doesn't need to overwork it, finds some court space and throws it down.
Some guys are looking for the highlight reels. Some guys just want to score the points, and that's what Nick West does.
They just want to see the point on the scoreboard.
Ultimately, like you say, doesn't matter how the point is scored, it's better what's on the board. That's going to be a blocking error likely on Hubbard-Neal.
No, net contact on Jackman. First ball, reset it, went back up to take a second swing. His follow through caught the top of the tape.
It was Jackman. I'm looking right through it.
Oh yeah, we got a big old monitor there.
I mean, otherwise we're gonna have to stand the whole match. Too old for that. Legs get tired.
Bringing a whole new meaning to standing desk.
As that set was over the head of Jackman, he had no shot. And the lead back to 3 for the Stunners. They led 3-0. Southern Exposure rallied to take a 2-point lead. And now quickly the Stunners have recomposed as Michigan serves. Jackman just throws it down.
That one was a little sticky, but they're going to let it go. The biggest thing there is that as long as you don't change directions with the ball to kind of get that little bit of a water polo cradle on it, they're not usually going to call it. But that one was about as far as you're going to probably get it pushed without a ref calling you for a lift there.
Or a grip and a throw. So Kevin Gear returning. That means Nick West will serve. And when Nick West serves, bad things may happen. One thing we know is he's not going to hit the top of the wall here in the gym like we saw earlier by Southern Exposure. Great serve from Nick. Jackman, Mashigian's up for the task. And that is wide on the attack.
Pretty big approach from Lenore there. He's got to find that one in. He might have been over as well. Either way, that one not going to go the way of the Stunners. Down by 2. See if Jackman can continue with his pressure now from the service line.
It's only the 4th error for Damani Lenore. It feels like more because he's been so up and down today, but.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's missed. Yeah.
Well, that's where you start to see alternatively, I guess, internationally, blocks are not considered errors.
Where in a college game they are, yeah.
Well, it's also one of those things that, sometimes a block is earned, sometimes you hit into a block in a column stat doesn't really tell you the manner in which, and I would still say plenty of times a hitter getting blocked is a hitter error, not necessarily an earned block. So,
and a good call here by the official. That was a clear back row tack error on Zach Meyer. Had his whole foot over the 10-foot line.
He just wanted to get closer to the net.
That's going to make it 15-11. That will send us to our technical timeout here in Game 4. Stunners on top, 2-1. You can hear me welcome you back as I'm Ira Thor sitting alongside Nick England. Noah Chest is going to take the rest of the match off because Haley Henderson has made her debut and she will talk to her man of the match as soon as this one comes to an end. Who will it be?
Well, Damani Lenore trying to break some floorboards. He heard there might be an opportunity for a call to action.
I like this court, by the way. I like the paint job. I think it has some character. New digs here in Long Beach City College. Temperatures are in the high 60s rather than 105 out in the desert where we were playing last year. That's put away by Connor Hankston playing in the middle. Still a 4-point lead. Stunners trying to end this in 4. Kevin Gear got shut down. Thank you very much.
That was absolutely needed right now. If they're going to find their way back in, you need to get the points that you may not expect. Hanks getting the shutdown in the middle against Kevin Gear. Well timed.
Ding was ready for it. They leave it for Lenore, blocked back. Somebody was into the net. It's probably the right side blocker here for Southern Exposure. All right,
yeah,
they may be calling it on Hanks. He's saying, no, I didn't touch it also. They're going to...
Damani Lenore was in the net on this one.
Well, we're going to take a look at it. If it was on Southern Exposure, then obviously the point goes to the Stunners.
Yeah, I saw Damani Lenore go up to throw that ball, and his hand on the way through caught the top of the tape or just below.
And obviously on the replay, if there is no touch, it would be a replay. Point
no,
would be a replay.
it's a net.
If there is no net, though, it would be replayed because they blew the whistle to stop play.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying now, because they called it against the side of Southern Exposure.
Yeah.
There is for sure a net. I'm almost 100% certain.
Well, either way, if it's a net on. Well, let me ask you a question here. So if they called on Southern Exposure and then the replay shows it was actually on Lenore, do they do a replay?
No, not at all.
Or is it over
it's
right
a
there?
Net violation, Damani Lenore, and then
Even if it's against the opposing team?
yeah, because it's a net violation.
Oh, let's see what they catch here. Nice that we have the replay.
Or is that riding?
As the hand comes down, oh, there's definitely contact with the net here. I don't think it's riding, though. I think it is. Who's on the pin there?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is riding. Correct, it is riding.
Oh, man. Tisk. Shame on you. You should never let your team challenge. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Clear cut there. Good job by our video crew, led by our lead official, Mike Mon. Riding seems surprised, but we saw that pretty much plain as day.
Yeah, you gotta be more aware than that.
Well, fourth set, you're going to lose the challenges no matter what.
No, but I'm saying that's not the one to lose, though. On a guarantee, when you know you netted, save it or call a time. I don't know.
Unless he just really didn't feel that he hit the net.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, it's a 4-point deficit. John Andrews back in the match passing. And well aware of that one.
Yeah, that was very heads-up play by Hanks, staying disciplined. No net there.
No, not at all. Connor Hanks certainly just good court awareness watching that free ball come his way. Here's John Andrews to serve, and ace would certainly change the dynamic here in the fourth set. But it won't happen here. So the lead is 4. Nick West is back in. Kevin Gear, who played for 3 years at Penn State, had 423 kills and 247 blocks for the Nittany Lions. But he couldn't get the ace there. Well, wasn't really known for aces back in his collegiate days, only 16. And his job was to stuff people, and he did a lot of that.
That he certainly did. That's one of those things you start, that's, what really defines a great M2. Kind of slotting in there, see what they can slow down in the defensive scheme, and that was definitely a role that Gear excelled in.
And that's another kill for Lenore. Monty's now got 8 kills. He'll go back to serve. He may finish in double figures by the time this one's over. If they're able to use him from the back row attack. Aggressive serve by Lenore. Right side, sticking it through for the kill is Riding.
A little mano a mano there. Mushiki not quite getting over the net in time. Still down by 3, though. Southern Exposure has been down by 3, it feels like, this whole set, and they have got to make their move right now if they want to send this one into extra innings.
Another good pass by Ding. Michigan gets it to go. Cross-court smash. And the Stunners 5 away from the W. And Eddie Mishikian's making a strong case to be our man of the match in his first start this weekend. Against his old team, too. And Hubbard Neal misfires wide.
Aggressive swing, but just a bit too much on that one. Misses the court by a few feet. And that's going to bring us a timeout as Exposure now down by 5. Looking at the dog days of set number 4. If they don't change something now, they're in for a doozy here, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about the storyline here. You know, we just mentioned Eddie Mishigian. Probably a clear-cut favorite right now after a couple kills in this fourth set late to be our man of the match. Do so against a team that you played for a number of years. And you had so many ups and downs with that team. You know, they got to the semifinals back during the 2021 season.
Yep.
They lost last year in the quarterfinals, but they basically weren't even guaranteed to be in the playoffs until the final day of the regular season.
Yeah.
So come to a new team here, a team that has a proud history, 3 finals in 3 years, 1 championship. You're trying to find your place on that team, especially early in the year, knowing that there's going to be other pieces returning like the Corey Chavers of the world.
Yeah.
And to come out and have the match he did, and quite frankly, not only he, but Wee Ding has been tremendous today.
Yeah, Ding has absolutely been on fire. He has definitely given this team a lot of extra chances, earned them a couple quote-unquote extra lives, you know, trying to play some points out that they may not have had any right to be playing.
And that is saved by Riding. They're fortunate to still be in this point. And Josh Nels finishes it off, 22-16. And Southern Exposure, well, it's now or never.
Little miscommunication. Who was going to be in what attack lines between Riding, playing right side. You know, he thought he was on a Bick route, I think, there, but got to iron that one out.
That was another miscommunication, and now the Stunners could just finish this off, and they see Nick West put one in the middle of the floor. I mean, Nick at that point is just not going to miss fire.
Yeah, he didn't have to do a whole lot to earn that one. There was...
And we mentioned earlier that Nick has his own line of skateboards. If you'd like to get one of your own, they're glow in the dark, they're hand painted. Nick West line of custom skateboards. Visit him on Instagram at glowskate, or online. You can order yours today, glowboardskate.com. Support Nick West and his line of skateboards as his squad is skating to victory here in the 4th set. 8 match points for Eddie Mishigian serving. And that one is left short, and a runaway victory here at the end for the OC Stunners. They lose game number 2, but they hold on to win today, 25-18, 19-25, 25-21, and 25-18 here in the last set as the OC Stunners, last year's finalists. You know, they may not have every piece available, but they are very much a team to be reckoned with this year. They improved to 3-1 on the season. Meanwhile, the Orlando Southern Exposure now 1-2 on the year for OC Stunners. That's it for this weekend. They won't play again until our Memorial Day event, week 3 of the season, as they take on the Inland Empire Matadors, which is now suddenly going to be a much more difficult match than I think anyone would have pictured earlier in the year. And meanwhile, Southern Exposure, they play tomorrow. And that will be a competitive match as well, as they take on the Utah Stingers. That'll be 3 p.m. Pacific as they round out their weekend of results. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it didn't really matter who's on the court for the Stunners. Just too many weapons, too many guys who were able to contribute. And Eddie Mishigian today ended up being probably the biggest star.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to hear a little bit from him now here. Haley, take it away.
All right, sounds good. Congrats on the win. A little birdie told me that you used to actually play for Southern Exposure. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. Played with them last year and the year before that. So somewhat familiar team, but it's a new roster this year, so just getting used to it.
Nice, fun to play against some old teammates.
Of course, yeah. We're all competitors out here, but we're all buddies at the same time, so it's always good to see some familiar faces on the other side. So.
Right on. So to end event 2, you guys are 2-0 for the weekend. How does that feel, and what did you learn?
It's great. You know, like the guys were saying earlier, we do, have a couple players still coming in, but to be new to this team, and they've just welcomed me with open arms, and Coach Matt's so great. I'm really happy with the way we performed this weekend. We adjusted well. Could have done it a little quicker, but I'm glad we got these W's. It means a lot, for sure.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
Eddie Mishigian, our man of the match, 15 kills. That's a match high. 48% he hit today. He got help from Connor Hanks, who had 11. I'm looking at the wrong sideline. Oh my God!
Remember,
I'm so used to him being on Southern Exposure. Let me look at the Stunners side of the box score. But he did finish today with 12 kills, along with 2 blocks. Hey, Nick West. 5 for 8, no errors, 6 blocks. We barely said his name today, but every time he touched the ball, it ended in a terminal point.
Yeah.
10 kills, by the way, for Demonic Lenore. He did ultimately get into double-figure kills at the end. And Kevin Gear as well finished with 10. It was 15 for Zach Meyer today. Bright spot, I guess you could say, for the Stunners, or for the Southern Exposure.
Wow, you are just wires crossed today, I think.
Oh, my God. Those two teams might as well just merge and become one. But, I mean, you got to look for Southern Exposure going ahead against the Stingers this weekend.
Yeah.
15 kills from Zach Meyer. You're trying to find offense from somebody other than Tyler Hubbard-Neal, who was cold today. Only if you had 6 kills, hit 33%. That's at least a bright spot. But for the Stunners, man, you got to be appreciative of the fact that they could plug in guys anywhere. Matt Prosser found ways to get guys involved today, gave Matt Hilling a day off.
Yeah, I think that what it comes down to at the end of the day is Exposure still got some pieces they've got to figure out. We see a couple guys. Zach Meyer's absolutely, I would argue, a guy you can build a team around, but they need to get some middles in there. The guys were kind of stepping in and doing well, but again, you don't know what you don't have until you add it back. And I think guys like Evan McDonough, who will be here in the next event, things like that are really going to help this team kind of round out nicely. Primrose, got to say his name. He has been an absolute pleasure to watch and a massive bright spot for this team. So excited to see what he can do. Also, Jackman is listed as an opposite. I think that he's kind of one of the most well-versed guys that can step in and play middle at a high level. I'm excited to see what this team might look like when he shifts back to the natural right, the right side, if they can get that middle blocker position shored up a little bit more. So something to watch as the season progresses for them.
Yeah, and Primrose passed well today for Southern Exposure. 15 attempts, was not aced at all in this one. I mean, I like him at libero.
Yep.
I think he's done a quality job. He very easily could have been our man of the match if Eddie Mashigian didn't have the effort he did today.
I agree.
They have weapons, and for Southern Exposure to challenge them when they got maybe a little lackadaisical in that third set, and then to say, all right, let's just turn it on and finish it, just shows how dangerous of a team they are as we move into the latter half, the second half of the season, as we get closer to Memorial Day. That'll do it for our second match of the day as the Stunners pick up their third win of the season. Our next match will be at 3 p.m. It'll be the Founders looking for their first victory of the year. We'll see if they're able to do so. They're taking on an Inland Empire Matador squad. I don't know what else we can say about the Matadors right now. They are holding, they are surprising. They are the team in the league right now. You don't really know what to make from them. You look at them, come back and see just how small this front line is and how it doesn't matter. They find ways to score points. Going to be an exciting one. We're also going to have a new analyst. Who might it be? As we got to give Nick at least a minute to breathe.
Yeah, curveball here. Ira doing it all. I'm out of here, everyone.
I'm not doing it by myself. I need lunch sometime. Want to go get some lunch?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Let's go ahead and get this one wrapped up. And,
all right, 3-1 win for the Stunners as they improve to 3-1 on the year. That's it. Come back at 3 p.m. Pacific. More volleyball here. NVA weekend number 2.